Value add real estate. Can you dig it? Let's talk about a project that we're doing. And we got a lot of firsts on this one. This is a really cool project. This is our San Ignacio project, where we are taking this disaster of a 4-family house that sits on an amazing lot inside of a neighborhood with multi-million-dollar properties. And you've got nice house. Oh my God, freaking the Goya property is like the nicest of the nice. So you have million-dollar houses. You have multi-million-dollar houses all behind the gates of this neighborhood. San Ignacio and San Francisco is the name of the neighborhoods. This is the place where the local Puerto Rican population that has done really well for years and years has lived. We've got great schools, we've got a great community, we've got everything that you'd want if you're gonna live in the San Juan area. And Adon and I were driving through this neighborhood. We were invited by a realtor to come and look at a complete train wreck of a 10,000 square foot mansion. And I mean, this thing, they said 10,000 square feet. It was the size of a small mall. This seemed like it was 3 or 4 stories in places, and it was gigantic. And they wanted $2 million for this shell of a house. And we walked around it. We go look at everything. I tell you guys, I look at a lot of real estate. Promise you, I look at a lot of real estate. This one was a $2 million, basically a teardown. You couldn't fix it. If you did, you'd spend millions and millions to fix it. And so as we were leaving the neighborhood, we came across the sign for a house for sale. And as we drove by, it was this little tiny house up on the thing that said, "Se vende." And we stopped and we turned around, we went back. I've told this story a few times in other places, but we went back and we called the number. And when we heard the price, Don and I both looked at each other like, well, this is why we were here. This is why we come and we look at the real estate. This is why we go look at $2 million houses that we, in all honesty, knew we were never gonna buy. But we show up, we go into the neighborhood, we look at what's there so that we can find this ridiculously small Se Vende sign and this deal on this 4-family house that was a complete train wreck, but had a beautiful lot. We ended up negotiating the price. They were offering it out at $500,000 or something like that. It was a really small number compared to what we had just seen. It needed a lot of work, but it didn't need as much work. It was big, but it wasn't as big. Probably it was in a better lot. It's got a little creek running behind it. It had a lot going for it. We thought originally we could renovate it to be a 4-family house, and as we eventually got it under contract we bought it for around $300,000, which was a pretty significant savings from what they had offered it up at. And we were going through the math, and we were saying, if we renovate this into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and this into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and this isn't, we'll get these rents. And I honestly don't remember where we came up with the idea, how we did this. But through these conversations, we decided, you know what the highest and best use for this house is? It's not as a multifamily house. This house should be a mansion. So I put out shorts all the time about the McMansion. If you haven't seen them, you should check out those shorts. We have fun with it. We're showing you what's going on with the construction all the time, and I'm going to continue to put those out. But so the McMansion came into be that we figured out that the highest and best use for this disaster of a 4-family house that had been sitting vacant for years and years was to strip it down to the studs, reimagine it completely, and rebuild it as a nearly 6,000 square foot, 5 or 6 bedrooms and 4 or 5 bathrooms. We've got a wine cellar. We've got a luxury kitchen coming in here. We're Italian-made kitchen, guys. So we're renovating this house in a way that's a lot of fun. Normally, when we're renovating a small house for sale and we're buying it for $50,000 and we're going to sell it for $125,000, we're completely doing things at the least cost that we can possibly do. And that's fun too in its own right. That's our sort of bread and butter. But this is different, right? Like, so my wife's a bit of a designer. She's become an amazing designer. My wife and her assistant, Peyton Grace, are having a lot of fun with this project. And while we have to be budget conscious, we're doing the Italian kitchen, we're doing high-end flooring, we're doing high-end fixtures. The bathrooms, we're just designing them so that they're gonna be really fun, really, really well done. And to have the spread in a house like this, to buy it as well as we did, and to know that we've got a lot of money that we can spend to renovate it, because we know that at the end of the day, when it's fixed up and it's a beautiful mansion, the McMansion that we're gonna build, it's gonna be $2 million property, a $2.5 million property. And it's almost to the point where, as nice as we build it, that's what we figure we can get for it on the back end. So we're gonna build it really, really nice. And it's a lot of fun. And you can see the drone footage and you can check out all of what we're doing. You can see several shorts that I've already done about the McMansion. So subscribe to the channel and go and watch those. If you want to follow the progress, I'll continue to put those out. I put them out about once a week. Maybe I put them out once every other week, depending on if I'm in town all the time or not. The really cool part of this, other than reimagining the 4-family house into a mansion, is the partnerships that we've been able to do on this particular project. So we're partnered with Adon and Andy. And so Adon is our partner on this YouTube stuff, and his deal with us was that he was gonna help me do this YouTube stuff for you guys, and I was gonna help him become a real estate investor. And we did about a year of only YouTube stuff. And now we're doing a year where really most of what we do together is the real estate side of stuff. We're still doing the YouTube things together, but Adon, he's flat out a real estate investor. And this thing, he's gonna be able to look back at this and be proud of it. This is something that I will have to have an interview at the end of the day with Andy and Adon and Zuhei and Marcos, and we'll talk about how all of this came together. But back to the partnerships that we're at. Adon is killing it. He's there every single week. He's crushing it. He's helping Linda with the design. He's helping Zuhei, who's the project manager, with keeping the guys going. He's always in contact with Marcos and the other guys on the job. So we just have a fun team. Zuhei Morgan is a local Puerto Rican girl who was doing big time real estate development as a project manager back in the States in Connecticut, and she's recently moved back to Puerto Rico and has started a business as a project manager, and we are so proud of her and her efforts, and we're so happy to be involved with her and to have her be part of the team. We're always trying to get better, guys, and this is something that hopefully you will do as entrepreneurs as well. We may have done something 1,000 times. Someone comes along and they present a way for you to do it better, to be more efficient, to be more profitable, to get things done faster. And that's what Zuhei's done for us. You got to jump on it when you get those chances. That doesn't come around all the time. So we have a way that we're looking at things with a new set of eyes. So guys, I'm excited about this. Is obviously not a finished project. We're showing you kind of a sneak peek of what it's going to be, this work of art that we're building, and we're having a great time doing it. We have a great team that I've just talked about, a few of them. I hope I don't leave anybody else out. Marcos and his guys, Raymond, these guys are new contractors for us. They're doing bigger and bigger projects. Their team is growing. Their ability to get these jobs done is impressive. We met them first on the Looking Glass Hotel that Jerry Norton brought from us, and they finished out the Looking Glass Hotel recently, and now they're jumped on this project. We've got another project waiting in the wings for them to go to next. And so for all of us, for our entire team, this San Ignacio build, this 4-family house being turned into the McMansion, this is going to be something that we will all spotlight. We will all look back and say, look, this is something that's amazing that we did together. And so that's what's so fun for me, Robbie Krager, the Flip Flop Flipper, to come to Puerto Rico and partner with people that I've never been in business with before and see different businesses grow, get off the ground, get started. Adon become a real estate investor. Andy, our partner who put up some money, is excited about it too. If we can pull this off and it goes the way that we expect it to go, Andy and I have already talked about where's the next one. We're gonna completely change our game plan and our model, right? Instead of doing a $100,000 house to flip for $150,000, we think we can go into other neighborhoods that have these nice houses and find distressed properties there and renovate them up to this much higher and better use, and we'll all make a good living. So this is something that will change our business model. Assuming this works, you can expect that we're gonna always have a great big renovation like this going on. Did I mention this is the biggest renovation that we've ever done on a single family house? Yes, we took a 4-family house and we're turning it into one single family house. Normally we'd be going the other way. We'd take a great big house and we'd try and chop it up. Its highest and best use would be like as an apartment building or as a hotel. But in this case, very clearly, the highest and best use was as a single family home and a high-end luxury single family home. So guys, leave me some comments. Tell me, what do you think about this? What do you think about our McMansion project? Would you like to get involved in a deal like this? Do you know of somewhere on the island where there's a neighborhood that has a house like this that you could get under contract, that you just thought, I need the proper team? Maybe there's a way for us to work together on something that you know about. Maybe your family's got something and that's just been sitting there for years and years, and you want to partner with us and this community. That's what we're here for, guys. That's how we monetize this channel. We're not asking you for anything. We enjoy doing this content and we hope we're bringing you value, but we'd really like to expand our business through partnerships. We'd really love to do business with some of you. One other thing I want to mention about this and how we found this house and what it's evolved into. I truly believe this is only only in Puerto Rico, right? Like, so if I drive through a similar neighborhood back in the States, there isn't going to be the same kind of opportunities back in Orlando, Florida, for instance. There may be one house in the neighborhood that's distressed, it's bank owned, or it's had a fire or something. But here in Puerto Rico, because of the economy, because of a recession basically that lasted a decade, there is on the island, in just about every neighborhood that you go in, whether it's high end or low end or something in between, there are always going to be nice houses. Right now, what we're seeing is that in all of these neighborhoods, many of the houses are being renovated, but there are always still that next diamond in the rough. There's something that's been lost and forgotten. The bank has owned it for half a dozen years, or a family lived there and then they moved off of the island for better opportunity, and the house has been forgotten and it's just sitting there getting dilapidated. So there's always another great deal around the corner. We call them the deal of a lifetime, and I truly believe that the deal of a lifetime comes around about once a week. Now, we don't get them all, but we want to get our fair share of them. We want you to get your fair share of them. And so that's why we partner with people. That's why we put out this YouTube stuff. And we're just encouraging people to become entrepreneurs, to become real estate investors. Guys, there's plenty. There's enough. Money is abundant. That mindset, this abundance mindset, I digress a little bit, but I just love the idea that there's always more. There's always the next, the best, the greatest. And that's why you subscribe to the channel, is because we want to bring you up. We want to lift everybody up. All ships rise in a rising tide. Let's do a deal together, guys. God bless.